Good morning everyone and welcome to Sugar and Crumbs. I'm early this morning, which is extremely unusual for me. Normally I'm 5 or 6 minutes late, but I'm actually on time and early today. So my name's Tracey Mann from Tracey Mann Cakes, and today I'm going to have a go at showing you how to make some baby shower cupcakes. Now my original plan was to do some work with the Carol's brand of Wonder Dust. Have I said that right? Yeah, Wonder Dust, but they haven't turned up yet, so I'm going to have to do that next week, I'm afraid. So we will have a go at doing that another time, but for today we're going to have a go at doing some baby shower cupcakes. So if you've got any, or baby shower, first birthday, I'm trying to think of other ones you could use. I thought they're very cute, to be perfectly honest. So anything baby connected, I'm sure will be absolutely lovely. They're very sweet. So hopefully you'll enjoy those. Good morning, Nikki. At least she's on. I'm early. Everyone's going to come rushing on in 10 minutes time and go, oh, I've missed it. Yeah, it's just me at the moment. No Kelly today. She's currently at home baking because we've got lots of cupcake bouquets going out. Good morning, Donna. So we're going to have a go at doing baby shower cupcakes, purely because, as I say, I was going to do something completely different, but the Wonder Dusts haven't arrived yet, and I've only got one that's in stock, so there's no point in me showing you them all and going, look at these, aren't they amazing, and then we don't have any stock of them. That's no good, is it? So we're going to have a look at something else instead. So hopefully this will be of interest to you. So we've got 6 cupcakes to do this morning. There was lots of you coming on now. That's good. I'm a little bit early because the plan of action is I'm going to try and go out for lunch today. So I want to go out while the sun is shining, or still shining. So I thought I'm going to get on just 5 minutes early to give myself some chance of getting there on time. So Kelly's on standby for lunch today. So let's have a look at what we're going to be doing. So let's change screens, get rid of that. So we're going to be using this mold today, which is an FPC baby shower mold, it's called. It is on my website. Nikki, I'm sure we'll find the link for you because I don't have Kelly, but I'm sure she will. But anyway, this is the FPC baby shower mold. It's got a little teddy, got a little boot, a little mitten, there's a duck, a baby's bottle, a rattle, and then some building bricks here. And it's a really lovely one. It's to do not only on cupcakes, but if you're doing a cake for a first birthday or say baby shower, anything like that, these little, what I was going to think of the word then, these little items just look really, really nice on a cake anyway. So even if you kind of put them around the baby's name, or so if you've got a big cake and you put little teddy next to their name, that looks really nice. So I love this mold. It's a brilliant mold. One of the things I've been doing on Sugar and Crumbs is showing you all the things that I've been using for goodness knows how many years. I love this mold. I love it as much as the gardening one that I had the other day. They're the 2 molds that if ever I get asked to do gardening or baby shower, these 2 molds come out without fail. It's nice and quick, and that's important as well, if you're, especially if you're working commercially, to get these things done really quickly. So we're going to use this paste here, which is Saraceno, however you want to say it, but it's a modelling paste, which means we're going to make our little molds or our little items out of the modelling paste. We're not going to make them all, we're going to make some of them because we haven't got time to do them all. We've got to make enough to do 6. Now I've already put this into the microwave, just probably, actually I'm not too sure if I put it in for too long. I only put it in for 10 seconds, but there you go. We've got let me get this open for a start. So when you buy this, it's very hard, very hard. I've put this in the microwave for about 10 seconds, so it's softened up a bit. Can you see it's all like sort of glue? There you go. That's a modelling paste. That's how it should be behaving. So that's what we're going to use. I'm just going to put, we don't need very much. We'll just wrap that back up for the moment and use this. So we're going to make all the little pieces out of the modelling paste, and then what we're going to do is we're going to roll out the sugar paste to make some little toppers to go on top of these cupcakes, and then I'm going to just put a little bit of buttercream on there as well. So we should have some toppers at the end, and we're going to paint them, of course we are. So we'll start off with that. So we're going to just give them a bit of a knead. I'm going to do them all in white, and then we're going to use our cocoa butter paints to get a really nice finish on them. So all I tend to do is I get a little bit of icing sugar. It's important, this. Take hold of it and just roll this into the icing sugar, not put the icing sugar in there. And I'm just going to press it down, make sure it's gone right down. Take hold of one of these plastic side scrapers, get my finger back in there again, turn it around the other way and then go back that way. And then make sure that when you do this, that everything is in the lines, because if it's outside of the lines, then you're not going to get a very nice shape. And I normally just take my finger and just go round and round and round. As long as I've dipped it in icing sugar, then I should be able to get a nice shape. So let's have a look. Now it's silicone, so we can bend it back and we've got a nice little boot there with a little bow on it like that. So you see, so that's nice and easy, isn't it? So we've got that one. Let's do the mitten. So we're going to do them all in white. So you could do them for christening actually as well, thinking about it. If you did them all in white, you could just sort of pearlise them, couldn't you? But on this case, we're going to just kind of do a sort of pastel selection of baby things. Again, just go across like that. Don't use sharp knives on silicone moulds. If you use sharp knives on silicone moulds, you will cut and damage them. So please don't do that. Please don't try and do this with sugar paste either, because you will not get these out. They will stick like glue and it will just tear. So you must do this with modelling paste. So let's pull that back as well. There you go. There's another little one there. Let's pop that there. So now we've got two. See, they're very quick. They don't take very long to do. No, Kelly's not here today. I've got my PA in today. I've got my PA Nikki's in today. Oh dear. Yeah, Kelly's at home baking at the moment. So we've got a lot of cupcakes to do. So there's the little duck there. I love this little duck actually. The duck and the teddy I've used loads on other cakes. So again, just press down, make sure it's all inside the lines, bend it back like so. Now I'm doing them all in white because I'm going to paint them. You can obviously do the duck in yellow if you want to, and you can do the bear in brown if you want to, that's fine. It's entirely up to you, but I'm going to paint all mine because I want to paint them. And I think it's easier actually. I mean, you can put little bits of paste into these moulds. If you see in there, there's like a little bow, so you can press sort of a little bit of pink paste in there and then put the bow over the top, but it's quite tricky. It's just so much easier to do it this way, so that's what I'm going to do. That's how we're sticking with this. So we sell this mould as in my website. Nikki's put a link up for you, so if you were looking for it, there it is, or Nikki's put a link up for Saraceno. Yeah, we do sell this baby mould on my website, not Sugar and Crumbs. It's on traceyscakes.co.uk. I think there was a link a minute ago. If you just scroll back through the comments, you'll see it. So we'll put the little teddy in like that. Again, just go over the top. It needs to be flat and it needs to be inside of these lines. That's what you're looking for. I was lucky there, got that one spot on. There we go. You can see I've done this one before, and they should just peel back like that, and then you've got your little teddy. So we'll pop that there, and we're going to do the bottle. So we'll pop that there. Just press that down. Again, you can paint these any colours you want, so it really doesn't matter. You can make them up in advance, and so they're all ready for your cupcakes. You don't have to be doing them at the last minute like I'm trying to do. Again, just make sure you take your finger, dip it in that icing sugar. Okay, I would make these, if I'm going to make these for cupcakes, I would happily do these on the beginning of the week, on the Monday, and put them on the Friday for Saturday. So yeah, easily. You know, you wake up on Monday morning, what cakes have I got to do this week? Oh yeah, look at that, I've got to do a, you know, baby shower cake, make them all in advance, get them all painted, and then you're ready to roll, aren't you? Right, let's do that rattle, because that's a really nice one. Now, it does have a funny little bit here, you can see around the handle there, so it's a little bit more tricky. So again, if you just stick to using the right paste and making sure that you use the icing sugar, don't pile icing sugar in like this. That's one of the worst things you can do, because what happens is you end up filling up all the indentations on this mould. So please don't do that. All you need to do is take hold of it, roll it in some icing sugar, and then pop it in. Press it down in that case and move it across. If you get sticky, put your finger in the icing sugar and just press it down. Then use your plastic scraper. Don't use a knife. And then we'll press it down again, just go around it, turn it the other way. If you try and go all the way across like that, what tends to happen is you'll then lift out everything that's in the mould. So you need to go halfway. So this applies to all the moulds. We've got quite a lot of silicone moulds on our website. If you do them all the same way, then you won't have a problem. If you do them like this, it all lifts. So again, take your finger, go round, round and round, and then just lift it back like so. Very carefully with this one, because it's got a little bit on the end. Just hook that out gently. Whoops. There we go. As you can see, it's got a nice little sort of hole bit on the end there. Yes, I've been messing around with brown icing sugar, brown colouring. Honestly, what am I like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 items there that I can use on my cupcakes. Again, I could do more if I wanted to. I could just have maybe the boot and the little glove together. I don't know. But there's also a dummy, and there's also some numbers there, or letters rather, ABC, some building blocks. So there's more on there than there is for the cupcakes today. But so there's those two there as well. That looks like a really difficult shape to get out, and it isn't. It's very straightforward, as long as you've got modelling paste and you roll it in your icing sugar and then you pop it all in. Just press it down. Don't try and be too scientific about it. Just literally press it down. Take hold of your plastic scraper, turn it the other way, go like that, get your finger, go over the top of it, make sure it's right down, round and round, and then it should, because you got your silicone here, you should be able to just very carefully ease it out, she says. Ha 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 ha. No, it's coming. There we go. Just got to be a bit more careful with something like this, because obviously you've got a little hole there. So there you go. I don't want to say to you, look, this is easy, when it's say it's nice and straightforward without actually showing you. So there you go. You see, it's not difficult to do. It looks like a really difficult shape, but it's not. Right paste and using a little bit of icing sugar, and you're going to be absolutely fine. So that's all the little pieces that we've got made, and I'm going to melt them on some sugar paste as well, but we'll do that as we get nearer the finish line, because I will make a decision then what colour sugar paste we're going to use. So I'm going to just move this across. Please note, new tablecloth, everybody. I have replaced my old tablecloth for this one. We've upgraded now. You can't really see it. You can see it a bit better now. So for those of you that have not seen this before, this is a chrome food warmer. I use it for cocoa butter painting. It has a tea light in the middle, which I'm going to light, and that will create me a heat source. So you can use that as a heat source, or you can use something like, oh, here we go, the dreaded matches, or you can use a wax burner, or you can use hot water or boiling water in a little glass container, but just be very, very careful with what you're doing. So we're going to put this metal paint palette on the top, and that's going to get hot, and we're going to put in here some cocoa butter, which is the product that we're going to use to paint with today. So we're going to pop that in there, let it melt. I've dropped that. Where's that gone? There it is. Oh, I'm throwing it around everywhere. Oh, it'll appear in a minute. Anyway, so we're going to use some different colours. We're going to use Primrose, which is a very nice bright yellow colour. There we go. We're not going to make it as bright as that. We're going to tone these all down with, or lighten them up, I should say, with white, because it's a baby shower. And I don't think we want a neon baby shower. Although I have to say I wouldn't mind a neon baby shower. Or any grandchildren would be nice, but not yet, maybe. So there's Petal Blue. So these are all sugar flare colours, matte sugar flare colours that I'm using at the moment. We're going to use Dusky Pink. We'll use that colour as well. So we'll pop that in. I was going to use Grape Violet actually, but I can't remember what I did with that one. We'll put Spring Green down as well. I'm not too sure what we're doing with that colour, but we'll put it in there anyway. Now I want brown for the bear. Is that lit? Or it has lit, but very pathetically. I can't really feel much heat. I think it's getting there. A little bit of brown in there. We don't need that much. They're only little, so you don't need loads and loads of them. Right, okay, so paintbrushes I've got for this project, I'm using my paintbrushes, they're all numbered, it's what I use for my classes, and we're going to use the really small ones today. We're going to use the 0 and 00, so these two brushes here. We're going to have brush 1 available as well, because some of the area is a little bit bigger, otherwise it's going to take us forever. So 0, 0, 0 and 1, so they're all numbered, and the reason I have them numbered is when I'm teaching, then I can ask you to pick up the correct paintbrush, otherwise it gets very complicated when I'm saying, oh, it's not too thick, this brush. You know it's the right brush because it's got a number on it, so it just makes life a little bit easier for me and for you as well. You can see the cocoa butter there is starting to melt, so that's not taking too long now. I'm just going to move a few things round, because what I might do is try and raise this up a little bit so you can see it all as closely as we can possibly get. This might be one of my not so good ideas, but we'll give it a go. I'm painting dough. Here we go again. Right, let's put that under there so we might be able to see it a little bit clearer. Just bring it up a tiny bit closer. There you go, that looks lovely, doesn't it? So we'll put that there for a second. So this is now starting to melt. We'll wait for it until it's completely melted, which will be just a few seconds. You're going to need some kitchen roll as well. So I've got here just a little bit, or paper towel, whatever it is you want to call it. And I'm just going to check my brushes are clean, because I'm always painting. So they've always got a colour in there somewhere, and I just want to make sure there is no colour in there, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Can I use any type of colours with cocoa butter? Does it have to be the powder? You have to use the powder. Okay, you can't use gels, you can't use pastes. You do need to use dusts for this. It makes up like what would be the equivalent of, if I think this is going to show me age now, when I was at school, we had powder paint. So the paint was powder and you mixed it with water and then that became your paint. So it's a little bit like that. So it is only dusting colours. Oil and gel is not a good idea. No, just dusts. And they're very cheap. They're not very expensive to buy. They're usually sort of between £2 and £3 for a little tube, and they go an awful long way. And there are key colours that you can use, which are really, really important. So you need very much what I've got here actually. So spring green, dusky pink, petal blue, primrose, white, black is another good one, brown, those kind of things is what you're looking for really. I'm just going to try and make sure this doesn't actually move while I'm painting it, because it is a turntable, so if it suddenly flies off in the other direction, then we'll know what I'm doing. Right, okay, so we'll start with paintbrush. Did I clean that one? I can't remember now. I'm working against my memory these days. Right, let's see what I did. Oh no, I didn't do that one. I've done the other two. Right, so I'm just dipping them in the cocoa butter and just giving them a bit of a clean. So there we are. Yeah, dusts only for this. Dusts look like that. Okay, the other thing you would use them for is sugar flowers, and you would use them for that. So let's start at the beginning. Let's bring Teddy in. We'll give him a makeover first. So we'll pick up some white, little bit of brown. And what we'll do is we'll make him sort of a light tan colour to start with, and then we'll add some detail later on. So we're just going to get him going to start with. So you can see there's some texture on here, which is great because that means I don't have to worry about it. I can literally just paint straight over it. I'm going to just avoid his nose, I think, for the moment while I just think about that. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with that bit. Or maybe I will paint it. No, I will paint it, and then I'll keep the other side a bit darker. So just go over the whole thing with the light brown. So it's brown mixed with white, nothing too complicated. And again, you can see all the texture there coming through. Hopefully without my hand being in the way too much. It's only when I look up that I realise that my hand is in the way. Well, I can see it all just about. Oh dear. All right, let's go in. Are we freezing again? Or was it somebody's Wi-Fi? Technically, who knows? We seem to be okay at the moment. If anybody can't see us, then let us know. But I think it's running okay. It's usually Wi-Fi if it's freezing. There we go. So you could do this with sugar paste. So you could, you know, do this bear in light brown to start with if you want to. You don't have to do it like this. You can literally just paint whatever it is you want. This turntable is creaking. That's not me creaking, that's the turntable. There we go. So we'll give him a bit of a makeover to start with. Then we're going to come back to him when he's dry and we'll add a few more details. We're just getting the basic colours on to start with, so that we can then decide what we're going to do with you, can't we? So a little bit under there, down the side of his head as well. Don't forget, when you turn it, you can actually see the other side. There you go. Yeah, give painting a go, it's great. Got a nice little beginner's kit to help people as well, so that you get everything that you need in one go, and that's really helpful. Once you've got your dust and your cocoa butter and you're all set up, it's so much easier. Right, so there we go. There's our little chap. We'll pop him to one side for the moment and let him dry. And he won't take long to dry, but we'll move on because we don't need to hang around waiting for him. Let's go for the duck. Again, we'll do something very similar with that to start with. So we'll pick up our primrose, grab some white, so lighten it up a little bit because we don't want it to be too bright. In fact, we need quite a lot of white in this because this primrose colour is very strong, very, very strong. So we need to make sure this duck is not too bright. Let's have a little look. What have we got? Okay, that's all right. That's a nice sort of, I was going for like a lemony colour, so I think we've achieved that, so that's all right. You can just paint over the whole thing. You don't need to worry about a detail at the moment. Just go for it. Probably gonna, I'm just thinking about the beak here. I don't know what colour we're going to do that. We'll think about that one. Should have asked Kelly. She's the expert on ducks. Don't ask. No, we don't have ducks. It's just that that was her first word, you see. And it went on for ages. It was quite funny in the end. So we always laugh at Kelly with ducks. But we want this to be quite cute, don't we, really? So we're going for cute duck, I think. Again, this will dry really quickly. Make sure you do the bits down the side. You've always got to tip it. Was that question? Do all the white dust clump up? And the white dusts are a bit of a pain. I think it's just the way they're made up. You just have to add a bit of extra cocoa butter in to get them. But yeah, I haven't found a white dust yet that doesn't kind of clump up. They're all a bit like it. So yeah, I think it's just by nature of what it is, really. Okay, there we go. Right, let's put you there out of the way. Okay, we're going to do this as fairly generic. So we'll do white and we'll do pink and we'll do so we'll do like pastel colours, so it's not just a boy or a girl or, you know, whatever that is these days in terms of what you can and can't put blues and pinks with. So we'll go across the board. Let's turn this round. Right, okay, so with this, what we could do is we could leave the sock white and then we could just bake, we could just paint little bits on it. So in other words, we could just pick up some petal blue, for example, and we're going to need some more white actually in a second. In fact, we'll do that now, as I seem to have gone a bit wildy beast with it. Right, let's put that over there. If there's any colour you're going to go through, it's going to be white. Let me move this across a tiny bit as well. I know. Well, she did say dad, but she said duck to everything, and it went on for ages. It was so funny. So funny. Her second birthday cake was a duck because she just didn't stop saying it. It was hilarious. So it's typical Kelly. There we go. So we'll go for the nice sort of pastel-y blue colour. And what we've got here on this particular mould, you've got little sort of sewn seams, I guess, here that are all marked out for you. So just bear in mind, I'm not making this up. They are here. So we can kind of put those there. You could do two different shades. So you could do, the sock itself could be a nice pale blue. And you could do sort of darker blue bits on the edge there if you want. And then we'll paint the little bow to match. I think I'm going to keep this the little, I don't know what to call it, booty, I suppose. We'll keep that white, I think, and we'll just paint some detail with blue on here. See, that's quite sweet, isn't it? We can always come back and do a little bit of stitching or whatever. Now under here, actually, there is like a little sort of trim, I guess, that's behind here. So I mean, you could always just catch the top of that if you want to, or you could keep the bow white. It's up to you really, but let's just go across the top here, I think, for the moment, and just make that a little bit pretty like that. There we go. There we go. Okay, right, so that's that one. So we've got brown, yellow, blue. So let's now go pink. And what we'll do is we'll do that on the mitten, shall we? We'll do that to match. Now the mitten itself, again, it doesn't have these bits on here like the little sock does. So we will take our dusky pink, I'll just turn that round so you can see it, grab some white, just lighten it up again. I mean, you can paint the whole thing if you want to. So, I mean, we could do this as a pink mitten. So, or we can just, again, pick up on the detail. If you want to do it all pink, let's do it all pink, just so we can be different. You literally just paint straight across. Just holding that in place for a moment so it's not whizzing around. So you could paint that like that. And then you could do sort of contrasting colours, you see, so you could leave the bow white. And again, you could just put a little trim on the edge there in pink. So you could take this and just clip the edges. Very similar to what I did to the boot, like so. So something like that. See, that's quite sweet, isn't it? Put that down there like that. So again, we'll put those two together like that. And then we'll bring that in there. Now what we'll do, actually, well, I've still got pink on here. we could do a pink and blue one, couldn't we? We could attempt that. Okay, so let's do pink on the bottom here. Let's do a half and half, shall we? We'll get crazy now. Let's pretend we don't know whether it's a boy or a girl, so we'll do half and half here. So we'll paint that half in pink, like so. And then we could paint the other half in blue, if that's what we want to do. Let's change my colour. So we'll go blue on here, like that. See, that looks quite cool. So they don't always have to be the same colour. And I quite like them with this white background, actually. I'm sort of tempted not to do too much to them. I think less is more with this a little bit. See, that looks cute. They're cute, aren't they? I've probably said cute about 15 times now. Well, we need a poll as to how many times I've said it. There you go. So something like that. Now we could even paint this lower half down here if we wanted to. So we could perhaps take it to, maybe make it all blue at the bottom, or blue up to that point, and then maybe make it pink. So there is some room for artistic interpretation with this. So you don't have to stick to, yes, they're all laid out for you and they look lovely, but you could actually sort of customise them a little bit, couldn't you? So we'll make that a little bit pink at the bottom there. So there we go. We've got a real sort of like multicoloured type one going on there, haven't we? And we're going to leave that like that, although we could just paint a little dot in the middle there, couldn't we? Just a little tiny little dot there, maybe. See, yeah, it's getting cuter by the moment. So we could do something like that. There we go. That looks so cute. So we'll pop that over there to dry. Let's move that over there. Let's bring the baby's bottle in as well. So what we'll do with that one, we'll make the top half pink, I think, on this one, like so. There we go. I mean, you really don't need to be overly decorated, to be honest. They're just so cute as they are. And then we'll make the bottom half blue. I don't think we'll introduce green. I've got green out, but I've changed my mind now. So maybe we won't do green. We'll stick with traditional baby colours, I guess. You could also put a little name on here. So there's loads of room if you wanted to write baby, if you don't know the name of the child, or something along that line. So there's a bit of room there, isn't there, for movement. Oh, they're so cute. In fact, I'm now starting to think that I might mix them all up, because this is so lovely that I'm going to actually go back to my other ones and mix those up as well, because I just love it. I think these mixtures of colours are just really nice. This is petal blue and dusky pink and white. So the three kind of colours together is working really, really well, I think. So let's, oh, I've missed a bit. Let's pull that bit there. So anyway, I tipped it to one side and I realised I've missed it. Don't want to make these too strong. They are better off being nice to pastel-y colours. Don't need to paint the other side either. There we go. Right, we'll move you over there for a second. But what I might do is bring this back in and just up the blue a little bit, because I'm running out. A bit more white. Basically, it is artistic license. You can do whatever you want with this, and I do like the idea of this, being able to just kind of mix and match. So you could do them all a cream and yellow colour. That would look really nice. I'm just getting carried away now, as per usual, on my unplanned live. You know what I'm like. Well, it was planned, and then it's sort of gone a bit wrong, really, because I wasn't sort of I was expecting my wonder dusts to arrive, but they're not coming until 4 o'clock this afternoon. So that's changed what I'm doing, but that's okay. We'll put a little bit of blue under there as well. Go along there, like so. And then what we'll do, we will paint that one. What colour have I got on at the minute? Blue. Let's get rid of that. If I don't get rid of that colour, I'm going to end up with another colour, so I've got to be a bit careful switching between colours. Let's get the pink going again with a bit of white. And then perhaps we'll mix this in as well, and we'll do the whole thing pink, and we'll go pink and blue across the works today. There we go. Like that. They are so cute. So some of you are expecting grandchildren and things, so hopefully this will appeal to you today. Look at all the fun you're going to be having with all this as well. There we go, little cute ones there. Now I've made that a little bit stronger, that one. Now if I wanted to tone that down, perhaps if that's a little bit too much, then I can always go back and I can grab some white, go back to my blue. And we can just overpaint that, you see, and then it will tone it back down again. So if you ever make a mistake and think, oh, that's a bit strong, you can just go back and repaint it. Or likewise the other way around, if you want to make it a little bit stronger, you can. So something like that. So we've got little bits of white on there. We're not going to do that one, we decided in the end. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll move those over there, let those dry, and we'll come back to the bear and the rabbit. So we're doing a little move around here. And we'll turn this around. Hot. It does get very hot, this metal paint palette. I do say it, be careful, and I often grab it myself. So there we go. So we'll take some more of the brown and we're going to make it a little bit darker. Now I've got paintbrush 1 on the go at the moment. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to just make it a little bit darker under his chin so that it makes his head and neck separate. And you see that? Hopefully that should show up really well on the camera. So we can bring that colour down, and we'll put it down the side of his arms as well, down there, to make that split like so, in more of a sort of solid colour. Okay, you see that? Then we're going to just take this very lightly and just kind of go over the rest of it. So we're creating sort of a double fur effect, I think. This turntable's driving me crazy, hold on. Okay, so we'll go down like that. Make him look a bit more realistic. Now there is a centre line down there as well, so you could, if you wanted to, highlight that, so there's no reason why you couldn't go back and do that as well. Yeah, these are very cute for sort of little birthdays, aren't they, really? Or anyone who likes teddies, I guess, in this case. Let's get hold of this brown. Let's go more neat brown now. So just sort of brown on its own. I'm going to just take our brush. And there is this centre line here, which you can mark in. So we'll put that in. It's all there for you. There you go. You can see that. You can even go back and make it a little bit darker if you want to. Go. So it's got this seam line running down there. Let's go back and just pick up a bit more colour. Put a bit darker at the bottom where he's sitting. A little bit round there as well. I'm going to leave these a little bit lighter, I think, at the moment, but you could, if you wanted to, again, this is where your customising comes in. You could paint little pink hearts on there or something along those lines. So if you wanted to do something like that, you could. And then we'll go inside the ears up here. Just take the rest of this colour up to the top. And again, just over the top of the head. Just so it kind of matches, really. I'm going to leave that bit in the middle because we're going to come back, and this bit here, I don't want that all fluffy because that's his nose. And we're going to need a little bit of black to kind of finish that off a bit. Yeah, if you suddenly decided now you've done this, you wanted to do some little hearts on here, then that's really easy to do. Is Kelly on here? Oh, she is. Oh, Kelly. I was thinking the feed's changed. Yep, Kelly's watching. Hi, Kelly. I hope you finished the housework. Have you put the washing machine on? Right, let's turn this round. What is she on? Right, so we're now I'm going to just take some white. I'm probably off camera a little bit, but I'm going to be just mixing this for a moment. And I'm just going to have a go. We're going to put a little heart on the foot there, like so. So we'll paint it white first. That gives us a bit more of a base. And then we'll go back and we'll paint that like a Care Bear, this, isn't it? And then we'll go back and paint it to pink and blue or whatever it is we're going to do later on. So we'll just put that down for the moment in white. And we'll just freestyle a little heart here. So we're just making this up as we go along. And hopefully I'm doing the washing now. Yeah, you better be. For those of you that have not watched before, Kelly's my daughter. She's normally here on a Tuesday evening helping me, and Saturday morning she helps me as well. But she doesn't normally do Tuesdays, but she is at home at the moment. She's clearly logged in, little devil. Just making sure she's put the washing on. There we go. So we've got a couple of little hearts on there at the bottom, and then what we'll do is we'll let that dry and then we could come back to them. There you go, white bear with red hearts. There you go. There's loads of things you can do with this. This is tip of the iceberg stuff. It's a bit like everything I tend to show on here. I paint things and then I go, oh, I could do this or I could do that, and then it all starts to change. So I'm just turning that round now. So we've got black on the other side, and I'm going to change to zero paintbrush, which is Kelly's favourite one. So going down to zero now because we're going to just do a little bit of detail on the bear. So we're going to take hold of this, and his eyes are there. So all you need to do is just literally paint over them. You can see them. As long as you've got the right brush, you're going to find this easy. If you're trying to do this with a great big chunky brush, it's going to be really difficult for you. So having the right brushes is really important. Okay, so this is the zero brush at the moment. You can use 00. They are cute, aren't they? And then you can come down this line here if you want to. We'll give Teddy a smile, I think, shall we? We'll make him look really cute. There we go. So you can add that in as well. That's not there on the thing, but we've put that on. So now he's very smiley and looking lovely, isn't it? So, okay. Now, while we've been doing that, I suspect that's probably dry. Yeah, it feels like it may well be. So we can try, let's see if we can get the blue on the heart. It may not be dry yet, but we'll give it a go. Oh, it is, it's fine. So we'll take our blue colour and we'll just tap a little bit of colour in there. Now we painted it white, so we go back to the true colour, because otherwise if you paint over the brown, it's not going to go back to this lovely blue colour. You'll end up with something completely different. So bring that down like that. I've got a helicopter going over now. Right, okay. And then back to the pink. We'll do a pink one on here as well. We'll go opposite. Like so. There is another mould actually that's really good that's called Tiny Decorations. I've got it here next to me actually. You can paint Saraceno with any paste colour, but what you have to remember if you're doing any painting at all is that with gel colours they will come off and they will get messy. So your cocoa butter will dry and fix to whatever it is that you're painting. So really and truly, this is a much easier thing to do. Now this one here is called Tiny Decorations. Again, it's one of my favourite ones. Now on here there is a little tiny bow. It's very similar to this one here, but I'm going to take it from this mould because it's a separate item on here. Much easier to do than trying to take it from the thingy. You could cut it out if you want to, but it's probably easier for me to do it this way. So what I was going to do, I'm just going to do the same as what I did on all the others. I'm just going to, unfortunately my hands are picking up some of the dust, so it's gone a funny colour. But what I wanted was a little bow, and I was going to stick this on, but what I'll do, hold on, is I can actually probably put it on with a little bit of wet cocoa butter. I'm going to try that because it will stick it. There you go, and put Teddy's bow in there. There we go. Got a little bow on, mate. Okay, so Teddy's got a bow now. And then again, you can change that to a different colour. In fact, hold on a minute, I'm going to just redo that because it's not quite right. Let me get fussy now. Okay, let's mix that again. Let's try this one. Because I've got black food colouring on my hands, it's picking up on this white and it's turning it grey, which I don't want. It's not what I want at all. So let's try this little bow here, the smaller one. There we go. Okay, let's bring this out. There we go. Right, I'm going to pop you on there for the moment. I thought I had some royal icing somewhere. I don't know what I've done with that anyway. Oh yes, I have. It's right in front of me. What am I on? Okay, let's grab a little bit of royal icing. I knew I'd seen some somewhere. Just going to put a little bit in just to hold it in place. I'm juggling now. Okay, let's pop that in there like that. There we go. So you could leave the bow white if you want to, or you could paint it something else. It's entirely up to you. I kind of would like to have a white, pink, blue theme on everything. So I'm going to leave that little bow white. I'm going to leave it as is. This one is Tiny Decorations. This one is Baby Shower moulds, and they're both FPC, and they are both on my website. So have a pop over and have a look. I think the Tiny Decorations one might be with the little mini handbags, which is another mould that's lovely and I've used many times. Right, let's go back to the duck. Hope you're watching, Kelly Mann, because I've been talking about you saying the word duck. So again, we'll just paint. I'm going to go black on the eye. It's all there again for you. Like so, and then what we'll do is we'll just change the yellow slightly because it's just a little bit flat at the moment. We could do with it being slightly different colour, and then we'll lighten the beak up. Actually, we'll do the beak first. We'll just go a little bit on the sort of brown side. Don't really want to introduce orange if I can help it, but I will do if I have to. Yeah, that's fine. I just want to keep it all kind of going together, really. There we go, like so. And then, yeah, it's better, isn't it? We'll take the yellow and we'll add in a bit more yellow so it's become a stronger yellow, and then again we'll just work a little bit round his neck. You can always blend it in as well, so if you find that it's all getting a bit you know, getting it in lines, if you take another dry brush, this is brush 2 in this case, and you can just literally just blend it in. We'll go for the big wing over the top here. Just soften that down. It's running away from me. Okay, go that way. It's just another shade, that's all it is. It's nothing particularly complicated. It's just so that it's not flat. Otherwise things can look really, really flat. Okay, now we're missing on the teddy and the duck, we need to put a little tiny spot of white, which we can do with paintbrush 00. So let's get that out. So get that in there. And we're going to have to get the smallest little dot we can. So I'll put a little bit of a dot on his nose. That's like a little white highlight. Barely visible to my eyes, let alone yours. So again, we'll just do that on both. Just in the top right hand corner. If I pick that up, you're going to be able to see it a little bit better. Can you see what I've done there? Okay, I'll pop you down. My hands are covered in food colouring, but that's just normal. And then we'll do the same on that one there. We'll just do a little tiny thing of white. It is the smallest dot ever, but it makes all the difference. Okay, if you just leave it without the dot, it does look really plain and bland, and we don't want to do that. We want to make them look like they're at least alive anyway. So so there we go. So we've got our little selection here of bits and pieces. Now if you want to, you can go back and you can add more and more detail. So you could paint this white across here. You can use now, what did I get sent? Pearl, where is it? Pearl Snow. Now I don't think Carol's got any of this at the moment. This is one of the Wonder Dusts, or the Wonderlusts. Wonder Dusts, that's what they're called, aren't they? I keep forgetting. Wonder Dusts. Wonder Dusts. Pearl Snow. But don't get too excited by this one because they haven't got it in stock. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of it. And then hopefully by the time I get permission to go wild with it, we will already have introduced it. So now when you mix luster colour, you can't really get too much shading with it. It is what it is. So you take your cocoa butter and you mix it. You see it's sort of a shinier colour versus these ones which are matte colours. So if you wanted to put on a sort of a shimmer sparkle, then you would use one of these type colours. I'm running out of cocoa butter. Let me just put a few more bits on. Sort of it also seems to use a lot more cocoa butter. It seems to really grab it rather than the matte colours, which don't seem to do that. So that's the things you've got to look out for there, but you can see it mixing there. It is quite sweet. So if you wanted to add a bit of a shimmer to all of this, you could then go over your white like so. See, that looks really nice. Oh, wrong colour. Would also help if I picked up the right colour. So there are lots of other colours in this Wonder Dust ranged, but I haven't actually sort of got them yet. As soon as I get them, then we can have a bit more of a play. But this is one of them. So again, we can go across to this one here and we can just kind of pearlize it, I guess that's the right word, isn't it? So go across the white, add a sort of pearlescent kind of finish to it. I don't like to leave things unpainted if I can help it, even if they are just white, because it just looks so much better if it's all painted. Again, we'll come up there. You see what I mean? It just makes so much difference. And then we'll go across here as well, like so. So we've done a little bit on there, and then obviously we're going to have to paint your bow tie, aren't we, with a bit of a shimmer. Oh, thank you very much. I'm just reading some of your comments. Good. So again, we'll put this little chap's bow tie in there. There we go. Now you wouldn't necessarily then go and paint over a colour, for example like pink, because what will happen is I'm just putting a little bit on the end of that bottle there just for sort of effect, because it will actually cover it, and then it's not a good idea. So you ideally want to just stick to using this on the white. I think it then shows up much better, and it creates just more depth. It's just more interesting than having something that's completely flat. So let's bring these round like this. Again, you can, if you want to tone this down again, so if you've made a mistake, if you do a very sort of light coating with it, you will be able to tone it down a little bit if you wanted to. You can see what that does there. It just makes it a little bit more shimmery, I guess, but just be very careful with it. Don't put down too much, because then what you'll find is you'll just end up covering all your colour and then you won't actually see what you've done. So it's a bit less is more with this, okay? So don't go wild with it, just a little bit. I think it looks better on the white personally. I think that's where I would use it, because then you end up with sort of much nicer effect on there. So there you go, we've got an absolute selection here going. Okay, so let's move this out of the way, pop that down there for a moment. We're going to get them on the cupcakes now. So I'm going to just take my turntable out because we've seen them all. Oh, actually, I could show you up close, couldn't I, what they all look like? Let me hold them up so you can have a bit of a better look. I will put the pictures up on Instagram anyway, so you won't miss it. But we're going to put them on the cupcakes now. So we've got some various decorations that we can do. Okay, so let's put them down again. I'm going to use nozzle 1M, which is the famous swirly buttercream nozzle. So we've got some buttercream on standby, as made by Kelly. I have to say that because otherwise she'll correct me. So let's pop that in there. So I've got 6 cupcakes, which I've already, what's the word, pre-covered, I guess, sealed, whatever it is you want to call it. Probably Kelly did it as well. That's probably what the next thing will be. And then what I'm going to do before I do that actually is I'm going to just move that across. I'm going to roll out some discs for them to sit on, rather than having them sort of straight on the buttercream, although you could have them straight on the buttercream. I think I'm going to just make some little white discs to go on them. So let's get a little bit of sugar paste. So again, if you don't like lots of sugar paste, if that doesn't appeal to you, you don't have to do this bit. You can just do, you can do them without. it's entirely up to you. So let's just give this a little bit of a knead here. So the buttercream is sort of a yellowy colour, so that's okay. The sugar paste is a white colour, so that's going to contrast quite nicely. But there's again no reason why you couldn't change this, and you could have pale blue sugar paste, pale green, pale yellow, anything you want really. You can just sort of, you know, mix them up until you decide what you like. So I'm just going to do this, as I'm a bit into putting things like this on things. I don't particularly like this kind of thing straight on buttercream. I just prefer it to look a bit more kind of organised, I guess, I suppose is the word. I don't know really. So I've got a couple of different cutters here, very sort of random ones. So this is the moment where you can go and have a rummage in your cupboards and see what you've got, because any of this kind of thing will work. So you can hear me rummaging in my nozzle pot. I'm going to call it my nozzle pot because I need a little nozzle there. So I've got my PME nozzle 2. I'm going to use that as well. And then what we're going to do, I've got various different shapes. So I've got a heart shape here, for example. I've got heart-shaped cookie cutters. I've also got these ones here, which I've had for years. They're like little Wilton flower ones. I've had these for a very long time. So any kind of shapes that you've got will be good for something like this that kind of fit on top, and you can kind of adjust them to whatever it is that you're doing. So let's start with this one. So I'm just going to press that down, give it a little twist, and then just push it out, and we'll have a couple of those. And then what we'll do, so we'll match them up a bit. I kind of know already where I'm going to put these, I think, in my mind. And we'll put this one on here. I think that one will fit. We'll see in a minute. And then I want, I was going to get, actually we'll do 2 heart-shaped ones. There we go. You can always do plain ones as well if you don't want them to be like this. You could always do much plain ones. Again, we've got a little 2-inch round cutter. I'm probably going off the screen here now. Let's come back on again. You can press it down, give it a little twist like so. So you've got a little round one there. How many have I got now? So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more. Okay, let's do, we'll do another little heart or another little flower, and let's just see how we end up. Let's see what we've created. So one of the other things you can do, I'm going to put that to one side because I may change my mind, is you can turn these into like little kind of like doilies. If you take hold of a nozzle number 2, I'm sure PME would never ever allow us to do this, but I'm going to tell you it's okay. And if you press down and twist, you can go round these little shapes and create what looks like little kind of like doily mats, I guess. They just look really sweet. But if you press it down and twist it, if I turn it the other way, you'll see them all coming out. And if they don't come out, they'll come out when you put them in the sink. So don't worry. But it's a little like tiny little mini circle cutter, isn't it? Really, it's just tiny. So it just makes it look very sweet. So we'll go round with that. So press down. Eventually you'll get a whole load of them in there, you see, and then you can just turn it like that. Yeah, Wilton nozzles are bigger than PMEs, but it doesn't really matter for something like this. I mean, if it's a Wilton nozzle and you want the similar size, you've probably got to go down a size. So Wilton 1 maybe. This is PME 2. And the PME nozzles are still proving very difficult to get, but oh gosh, we do have PME 2 and we do have, I managed to get some 44s yesterday, and my Royal Ices will know what I'm talking about here because they sort of vanished off the face of the earth as well. So there's that one there. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to start matching them up where I want them to be. So this one, for example, I'm going to put this little glove on there like that, you see, because I think that looks very sweet. So I'm just going to get my Royal Icing, which is sort of diagonally from me. So let me find a brush to pick it up. What we want really and truly, you need to stick these on with Royal Icing, not with glue. They need to be stuck down properly. There we go. So we'll put that on there like that. So that's a nice little topper there. That's ready to go. Now just make sure there's a bit of icing sugar down here, so when you move them around, they're not kind of stuck, because we don't want the shape distorted. So we'll do a similar one for that one. So we'll go back to this again. Yeah, it looks like a lace mat. I don't think there's such a thing as these as couplers for Russian nozzles. from what I've just read that comment there. I don't think there is. I may be told otherwise, but I'm pretty certain there isn't. You just have to cut your bags for the Russian ones. I'm sure Carol will have the answer to that, or someone else with, but I'm pretty certain there isn't any. So around we go. So we're going for the cute factor here. See, look, it's all building in there. So all I just do is tip it upside down. There you go. It all just falls out like that. Just going to put a bit more icing sugar down just to stop this sticking. So it's fairly quick. It doesn't actually take that long. Once these are all done and you put them on your cupcakes, they're all finished ever so quick. So as what I'm saying, you can do these in advance. You don't need to do them all at the last minute. Okay, so I'll put that one on there. Now that little, it's not come out there, so I'll put that back in again. There we go, that's better. Right, so we've got two. Let's pop that one over there. Okay, so we've got those mounted up there. Right, okay, 2, 3, my short one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's right. So I had in my mind that Teddy would sit on there because he's the biggest. So we're going to put you on there. We're not going to do a fancy edge for that one. We're just going to put you straight on like so. So again, just pop some royal icing on the back here. Turn that over. Press that down. I actually quite like it because it's a little bit sort of standing up from the disc itself, which is quite nice. Now we have got these two and that. So I think we need to have the duck on this one. Again, you don't need to copy that if you don't want to. You can just kind of leave it plain. Or alternatively, you could put this one on blue, or we could paint some blue. Let's paint some blue on there. That would be nice. So we'll do that. Let's get a little bit of, where are we? Royal icing again. Keep picking up the wrong brush. Okay. Right. So we'll pop the duck on there. And then if you wanted to put a little bit of water under the duck, you go back to your paintbrushes, your cocoa butter painting. This is paintbrush, what have we got here? Paintbrush number 2. And just get a little bit of petal blue with some white in it. We don't need to make it too. And then just put a water suggestion underneath it, couldn't you, like that? So you don't need to make it too complicated, just little backwards and forwards, just as long as it's not too dark. I think the problem is people take these out the packaging and then they immediately forget to add white, and then you get these really sort of strong colours. And then again with this one, that looks quite nice plain. Sometimes less is more. You don't want to put too much on, otherwise it looks just too busy. So we want some nice busy ones, but we also want some nice sort of plainer ones as well. So again, we'll pop that at a bit of an angle. Make sure it's not showing like that. And then we'll do the same with this one. Just turn them upside down. Because they're modelling paste, and I've made them a little while ago now, they're nice and solid. They're not sort of flopping about all over the place like they were earlier. And then we could pop that one on there like that. Right, so we've got those all onto discs. So we're getting there. Right, let's bring these in. And then what we'll do is we'll get hold of our icing. And then we'll just take our buttercream and we'll go all the way round like so. Okay, and then we'll start with Teddy. We'll put you on there like that. That's what I meant, is putting them on there like that, rather than putting them, I'm going to bring them down a bit so you can see them as we build them, rather than putting the item straight onto cupcake. And then we'll take this again. Around we go, like so, and we'll get that one. Put that one in the middle. You could also add little sprinkles if you wanted to as well around the outside edge, like little pearlescent ones or something. That would look quite sweet. Let's pop you there. Right, running out of buttercream. Let's get some more. Can't bear to have too much buttercream in my bag. It's awful. But yeah, you could put some. Got those little mother of pearl hearts somewhere. Where are they? Hold on. In with with the silver balls. I don't think we want silver balls, but little tiny sort of mother of pearl hearts would look quite sweet with this, wouldn't it? You could kind of pop those in there as well. Little mother of pearl sprinkles maybe, I don't know. Let's put those in there like that. Thing like that, I don't know. I'm playing now. I'm getting carried away. Right, okay, let's bring that in. Again, this one. Oh, there you go, there's the air bubble. It doesn't matter because it's going to be underneath this. I'm not too worried about it. It was coming, I could hear it. Okay, again, we can pop this one on top there. Like that. See what I mean about it being mounted on a disc? I personally just think it looks better. That's my personal opinion. Might not be yours, but it's definitely mine. I just think they look tidier. And then the nozzle is a 1M nozzle. It's just a straightforward rose nozzle. There's nothing weird or complicated. Right, back under the camera again as best we can. Like so. And then we'll pop that one. Oh, I'm going to have to arrange them now because this is going to annoy me. Right, I'll pop that one on there. Okay. Right, 2 to go. Probably off camera a little bit at the moment because I'm running out of space. I'm trying to keep them on screen. There we go. And we'll put that one on. So looking at just changing the backgrounds as well makes all the difference. They're only little tiny details, but they do make a huge amount of difference. You'd be surprised. Right, last little bit of buttercream. Yeah, the discs are important. And because the buttercream is yellow, it sets the white, it really does set the white discs off. I think you'll agree with that, doesn't it? Right, so I'm just running out of buttercream again. Last one. Okay, there we go. Let's pop that on top. There we go. Ta-da! Little baby shower, baby cupcakes. Sorry, I'm just going to have a little move around here because I'm fussy. Not that I am. There we go. How about that? So, baby shower, first birthday. Congratulations, you're expecting. Gosh, let me think. There's so many things you can do that with, and you don't have to just use that one. You could use that one on its own. You could also use the rattle and the mittens and the bottle, and that they're quite baby orientated, but these two here you could use those on anything, so you don't actually have to use them on just baby shower cakes. I tend to go to my molds, have a good look round and go, oh, I'm going to use that one today because it's relevant to what I'm kind of trying to achieve. But there you go, there is a set of baby shower cupcakes for today. That's what I'm calling it anyway, but I don't know what else to call it. Baby cupcakes or cute baby cupcakes, something along those lines. So but there you go. So that's my little live today for you to show you how to do that. I'm actually just going to blow out that candle because I will forget. I'm rather good at forgetting how to do that, so let's get that going. So there you go. Right, let me come back on screen. Right, okay, so I hope you enjoyed. Oh, here comes the comments. I think they all got stuck then. Thank you very much for joining me for the live this morning. So what are we, Thursday morning? Yeah, 11:30. I hope you enjoyed looking at these. I will take a photograph of them and I will put them on Instagram. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Tracey Mann Cakes. So you'll see some pictures on there. They will also go onto the Sugar and Crumbs page as well, but I'm very behind this week. It is not surprising. I haven't put on Tuesday's demo yet, but I will do that later today, and then I will put this one on as well. So I've been racing around a little bit. The cake from Tuesday night, which was the DIY cake, has now made it to YouTube. So that's now on there if you want to go back and catch up on that. So if you are missing any of my videos, or you think, oh, what did she do 6 months ago, then go and have a look on there. There's a little picture of every single thing that I've done. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll be able to find it, and then you'll be able to catch up with all the bits and pieces like that. So thank you very much. I'm seeing loads of names I know this morning, which is always lovely, and I do appreciate you tuning in. to have a look at what we're doing, which today is baby shower cupcakes. I will be back on Sugar and Crumbs on Tuesday evening at 6:30, and I'll be live on Saturday morning as well. So take care, have a lovely few hours, days in the sunshine before it goes. Quick, everyone get out as fast as possible. And there's on my, I have to put my website up so you know where to find me. There you go. So there's my website address there. So if you do have any questions or need any further information, then do please let me know. So have a lovely day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.